Yes, geezers, welcome back. So it's Friday, and it is my fourth session of the week today. It's like a bit of everything session. Ideally, really, if I'm being honest, I should be splitting this into two sessions. I should be training on a Saturday, but with my daughter being only, like 13 weeks old, we get to the weekend, and I know that Penny really appreciates me not training on a Saturday and Sunday at the minute. That might change again soon. I mean, years gone by, I always trained on a Saturday morning. When Florence was little, I did. But for now, this Friday session is a bit of a beast. So it's essentially a full body, but no quads. So it's everything but quads. The majority of the volume today is on arms specifically, to bring them up. Then I'd say it's evenly distributed on push and pull upper body. And then we've got some hamstring kills in there, and we've got one set of RDLs. So it's a little bit of hamstrings and one hinge movement, okay? So it's a pretty big session. It typically takes me a long time. But I'm gonna give you guys some snippets today, and we're gonna get stuck into it, right? Hopefully give you some gems as well. So the reason why we actually start with arms, which is something I've never done before until getting back into physique-based training this time round, so actually starting the session with arms, which is just it's the priority principle. It's something you'd know forever, but because it was so outside the box years ago, just never did it. I might have put more volume in a certain body part, but never put arms before I pushed and pulled and things. But that's what we're doing. You'll see that we do a bicep movement in the shortened position, so with the weight out in front. A tricep movement in the shortened position, so a push down. And then something where we're hitting the lengthened position a bit more, so biceps with your arm behind your back, because that's where you're going to get the biceps stretched the most. Triceps with your elbow up higher, a bit more of a stretch. And then we do a little bit of side delts. Then we'll get into back. Then we'll get into chest. Then we'll get into hams and the RDLs and that. So that's pretty much it. And we always start with calves and abs as well, which I might not film today, to be honest. Probably just film the arms and the rest of the session from there. But that's what we're gonna do. As of this morning, I'm officially 7 weeks into this gaining phase. We're sitting at 192 pounds. I've only gone up around 1 pound in the last couple of weeks. So checked in with our Tom. Agreed, time to put the food up again. So a decent bump up in food. Training day carbs is now at 575. On leg day it's going to be 600. Rest day carbs is going to be at 400. Fats have been bumped up to 50 on that day. They're at 40 on a training day. And then proteins around that 220, 230 total mark on both days. So decent amount of calories, about 3,500 training day, around 3-ish or just under on a rest day. And it's exciting. I love the idea of progressing. We've been making sick progress. I feel like I've been getting leaner. I'll put my check-in pictures on the screen from this morning. I'm getting better at posing as well, guys. So it's sometimes the pictures look fucking 10 times better, but sometimes it's I am gaining a lot of muscle. I am probably leaner than the start point, or at least the same, whilst being fuller, more vascular. Then also the posing's getting better too. So if I don't say so myself. So making some pretty badass progress, and I'll put that next to my original pictures from the start of the gaining phase 2, so you can see the improvement from the 13.3 pounds between pictures. Pretty much a stone up in essentially muscle and some water, right? So that's where we're at. That's what session we got today. We're a little bit behind schedule today. Well, a little bit. I usually train anytime between 1 o'clock and 2 o'clock. On a Friday. It's now 3:15, so I'm 2 hours, an hour and 15 to 2 hours and 15 behind schedule. I don't know what it's going to be filming at this time. It's 3:15. I mean, 3 till it's I'm going to there's going to be a point there where I'm in peak time in the gym for a Friday. I'm hoping Fridays aren't too busy at the unit Saddleworth. But it is what it is. I'll still get some footage regardless, even if I don't get everything, because obviously, if it's quite intimate and someone's right next to you on a piece of kit and they don't want to be filmed, and there's no other way of getting in the shot without me just fucking basically recording someone else exercising directly next to me that hasn't given me consent, then I won't get it. But I'll get as much as I can do, so you guys get some fucking, I don't know what to call it, value entertainment Fuck knows. Get something whilst you're doing your cardio, or whilst you're chilling out, whilst you're driving, whatever you do when you're watching these bad boys. So yeah, that is about it. Just had some crackhead drink. Just picked up some protein powder from Herculean and Home Firth, and I thought I'll get like an AB or something. I got this like straight up fucking crackhead American energy drink, and it's Kool-Aid flavour. Which shows you how fucking crazy that shit is. 200 milligrams of caffeine. It's got some choline in, 200 milligrams, which is for like focus, and it's got 500 mgs of taurine, which is good for your nervous system. And yeah, that is it. Right, I'm gonna stop talking. I'm gonna see you in the gym. We'll do a physique update at the end. I'll do a little bit of talking in and amongst, so it's not just boring as shit. I tell you what, from watching other people's content, I can't stand just watching people fucking train. Like training montages without anyone talking between exercises and shit. It's fucking boring. So I don't ever want to put something out that I wouldn't want to watch myself. So try and keep some little snippets in there too. And yeah, I shall see you in the gym. Right, exercise number 1. So cable curl, dual handle, arms out in front, literally just going down and keeping an active range of motion. You'll notice I won't fully straighten my elbow, just going down until I still feel tension on, then coming back up. Big mistake I used to make, I know a lot of guys do, is like thinking, right, you have to do full range of motion and everything, and you go to the point where tension comes off, and that first like inch or two, it's kind of like nothing's really happening. So keep tension on, feels better, get a better pump, more stimulus theoretically. So that's what we're doing. And we're aiming for, we've already done 1 set. We've got 2 more sets. We're aiming for minimum 10 at the very least. Right, single arm tricep push down. So we actually do this on the other day as well, if you watch the push video. Really good exercise just to target tricep in general, but yeah, what I'm thinking about doing here is on the way down, elbow back a little bit, on the way up, elbow back a little bit, to get more of a bend on the elbow, aka more stretch on tricep. On the way down, I'm thinking hand down and back, to get more of a contraction on tricep. But I over-egg that, I'm not as obvious with it as much as I was when I first started doing these like that. Trying to just find out like what feels best as I go. Interestingly today, usually when I do these, the right side feels way harder than left. Today they feel just as hard on each side, which is a good sign. So we're doing 3 sets on pretty much all isolations at the minute. Calves I did more like 4, sometimes 5, sometimes even 6 on calves, which I ain't got any. Abs I did 3 sets, which obviously I didn't record today, but now you know what I did. On the isolations, 9 times out of 10, I'll go to failure on that first set. I think what's probably going to happen is as I get bigger, as I get stronger, if I'm doing 3 sets on all my isolations, we'll play it by ear. I mean, probably for now, go to failure on most of them sets, but it might be that the first set's not quite to failure, what have you. Just so I can keep that amount of volume. I think there is merit to doing stuff on like biceps and triceps, doing like 3 sets, one of them maybe not being to failure and getting extra volume in as opposed to just doing 2 sets all out. But who really knows, eh? Second set of these bad boys, 3 sets again obviously. This is going to get the bicep more in that stretch position, so our arms behind us. And what I'm trying to focus on these is actually just keeping my elbows back. I used to do it where I used to let my elbows and my hands come forwards like that. Reasoning was the bicep actually helps in shoulder flexion, like it does actually assist in that movement. So in my head I was thinking like more range of motion of the bicep, but when you do it in practicality it just doesn't feel as good. And this just seems to be the best way to isolate it. So elbows pinned back is sort of the main cue I'm thinking throughout on this. I'm just thinking elbow bend, elbow straight, and that's it. Once again, higher reps on most of this arm stuff, easier on the joints. Retarded pump. Next up we've got incline dumbbell skull crushers. So I basically just bring these down to my forehead. I don't go any lower. I've got a bit of a gammy left elbow which I've had since I was like 14. I think I did it handing someone off in rugby training when I was a teenager. So anything where I try and like bend this left elbow too much, it just it crunches and it's just some weird shit. So what I'm doing is to like standardise it, bring it down to my forehead. I'm actually touching the dumbbells on my forehead. That's like forcing me to like not do anything like too fast, because obviously I don't want to smash my head in, forcing me to control it. And then on the way up, I'm thinking of like just tensing my tricep as hard as I can. So we're to minimum 10 reps in one set. I think I got like 13, 14 reps. So we'll see what we get on this. If we get less than 10, if we get less than 12, I'll probably drop it to 7.5s. But yeah, let's see how we get on. Right, I think that were about 10, so 7.5s, at least 10. Right, next up we're going to be doing single arm lat pull down. I've been doing it on a bench chest support on a cable stack, and the goal of this one today is, you know, and usually on this session is to have something that's like more upright and overhead. You know, to realise this lat pull down is a dual puller, so I could have been using this the entire time. Doesn't necessarily mean it's better, but in my other pull session I have something where the weight's out in front of me. You know, I thought I'd have a go at this today. It does feel more stable, even though I haven't got that chest support, and I think just literally that is because it's just from a straight up overhead. So this is going to, you know, target the lats in a slightly different way to having something out in front of you. So let's see how we get on. This is set number 2. We only just got over 10 reps on the first set, so hopefully we'll get at least 8 on this, and then last set we'll drop the weight and make sure we're getting at least 10. And all I'm thinking here is switch the bicep off, trying to keep my palm either neutral, so like this, or palm facing me, and that's going to mean it's going to encourage my elbow to stay in close. When your elbow's in close here, you're going to get more lat and you're going to get less like upper back and rear delts and shit. lat pull downs are done. I only recorded one set of that just because I was in this tripod was in the way of people. It's too busy really to be recording, but it is what it is. They felt good. Did 3 sets of the pull downs. Had a bit of a play around. I definitely did some reps where I was kind of like getting out of that active range of motion and just fucking like reaching up as far as I could. I was having a play around with it today a little bit. First time doing them on there. I think next time I do them, I'll try and keep my palm facing me a little bit more, instead of being like at the top, a bit more like that, and not quite going fully extended. I felt like the lats just turned off there. But here we're just doing a chest supported row. Nothing too fancy, just trying to get a stretch, trying to work the entire back, arch up a little bit at the top. Nothing crazy, nothing trying to isolate anything in particular, just trying to hit everything. So there's set number 1, and I'll record the next 2 sets. So there we go. Ooh. Once again, similar to the isolation stuff we did at the beginning, shooting for 15-ish reps on that first set. If we can get more, that's fine. If we go over 20, we're probably going a bit light. So yeah, I think I got like 18-ish there. Probably do 2 more sets on that. I think that'll be bob on. And then move over to some chesticle stuff. I've been doing 3 sets of incline flies, 3 sets of incline bench. Today I'm probably going to do 3 sets of incline flies, but only 2 sets of incline bench. Last week I felt a bit beat up and felt a little bit weak on the pressing. I felt like I probably overdone it a little bit, so 2 sets on the barbell stuff. This one I'll still do 3, it's only 5 kilos a side. You may or may not notice I'm not trying to emphasise the stretch too much. I find on pieces of kit, I think a lot of guys are like this, where it's like you got a back pad behind you. It can feel quite difficult to both get a great stretch, but then also get a great squeeze as well. And I think that's probably just because like when you got a back pad, like a bench or anything like that, your shoulder blades are like restricted, right? So you come down getting a great stretch, all of a sudden your shoulders are like tucked down and in, and you try and like reverse that to get your shoulders, you need to get your shoulders forwards a little bit in order to get like a really good squeeze. It can be difficult to do so. I think flies are the exception on the cable machine, but yeah, with these, I tend to just focus on the top half. I still might look like I need to get a decent range of motion, but I'm not trying to focus on getting a massive stretch here. I'm like coming down just low enough to get a little bit of a stretch, and I'm really, to be honest, I'm just focusing on that squeeze a bit. And these have been feeling great, loading it like that. Shoulders have been feeling healthy. That's another issue. I had my left shoulder was getting a bit achy doing these like with dumbbells and going for that big stretch. Doing them this way seems to be feeling great. So set number 2 anyway. Pull out record set number 3. Just get set number DOS for you. Aiming for plus 10 as always. And then we're gonna do 1 more set of this after this, and then get on the inclines. One thing you might notice there as well is as I come down, elbows bend a little bit. That's to keep the tension off the biceps. And then as I come up, I actually think of pulling my elbows and my arms together as opposed to just the handles together. So actually let my arms straighten out a bit more and actually think of touching my biceps. Reason being, function of the pec, I mentioned this on my push video the other day, to bring that arm across the body. Sorry if you've already fucking watched that, I'm just repeating myself, but I think it's important to hammer shit like that home. I think it makes a real difference to how stuff like this feels. Right, incline bench. So this has felt heavy as fuck. It felt a little bit like AIDS warming up. I want to say AIDS, it just felt heavy and a bit awkward. so I feel a bit tight from the chest flies. It just felt a bit heavy, so I've just given myself a fucking hefty rest, like 3 minutes rest before my work set, which I won't typically do at the minute, but it felt outrageously uncomfortable and heavy, so I thought I'd give myself that bit of time. So we're going to get stuck in, we're going to leave 1 or 2 reps in the tank, have a decent rest, and then send it on the last set. About similar difficulty to last week. We'll have a couple of minutes, then we'll do his last set of this, then we'll get on them ham dogs. A rep less than last week. We'll just do it again next week, see what happens. This is the thing as well, with stuff like that, like I'm in a gaining phase on 300 megs a test, you know, ticking pretty much all variables. Progress should be going up each week, but you do have them anomaly days where you can't really explain it, or you don't know what the issue is. Sometimes it's worth repeating, see if it happens again. If it becomes a pattern, not just a one-off, then it might be worth me addressing things. But I think sometimes this is why logbooking and remembering all your different lifts, it doesn't necessarily always. You don't need to obsess over it too much. Sometimes you might do the same weight for a couple of weeks and it just goes up. So yeah, we'll see. But yeah, that is just strike up as a red flag, the fact that I went down a rep. We'll see. Repeat the same next week and then go again. And we should be sweet. Right then, we've got lion hams next. So we only trained hamstrings like a couple of days ago. Obviously, it's not the best way of setting out your week, but this is literally because I don't want to come in on a Saturday and do hamstrings then. So we'll see. Like I said, it's probably going to change at some point, but for now, we'll get it fucking done today. I've done 2 warm-up sets. On them, I was doing a lot of like pausing in the top position, getting that sort of mind-muscle connection. I shouldn't really laugh because it fucking does make a difference to movements like this. And now on this set, I probably won't do that pause at the top. Typically what I find is when I've been doing movements like this, and especially if it's a good piece of kit like this, I thought this was Life Fitness and hammer strength leg tail, feel it really good. And I just find myself being able to like just bust them out, you know, going for 10 plus reps, just to make sure the load isn't too heavy where we're risking injury. So above 10 reps and not going all the way down on this and just keeping the tension on the hamstring and just basically just putting some effort in, just sending it and not having to think about it too much. And I feel like my hamstring's been growing pretty good. I feel it really good. So yeah, without further ado, watch me do some sloppy reps on this piece of kit and make some hammy gains. Fucking hell. I got like 20 reps. You know, that's because I was taking my time talking to you guys between my last warm-up set and my top set, where I'm just fucking actually making some goddamn gains. Delicious. Right, we'll go up in weight because I think we hit 20. slightly more than 10 there. One more set of that, which I won't record, and then we'll see you on my singular set on RDLs today, which I'll probably do 120 kilos again. Right, we just did the bar, and then 60 for 8 reps. Now we're going to go 100 for 8 reps. Going a slightly wider stance this week, toes out a little bit, with the goal to hit a little bit more ham dogs. It's been feeling better on my warm-up sets, so we'll see how it feels on this second to last warm-up set. Toes out a little bit more. Not going to go crazy. Whenever you change your technique, I think if you go too crazy, you can fucking feel way too foreign and maybe risk injury, especially on bigger movements. Let's see what it's saying. Not too bad. Ooh, it's actually felt a bit easier doing it like that. Who'd have thought it? That's that, session complete. Session complete. I would usually have done a physique update, but almost running over a member of staff. But in the respect for my fair lady, tell her usually I finish work at 6 and I'm available from 6 PM, you know, to be help out, be present with the family, and it is 10 to 6 and the gym is half an hour away from home, so a bit of a PI staker if I started doing a full posing routine. However, I did get a quick post-workout selfie for the gram. Shameless. Fuck, where's my phone? There it is. Thought I left my phone at the gym then. For those that don't know, your boy's repping a 2012 VW Tiguan. So I'm back to, since the back end of 2024 to be fair, I'm back to the old school. I've got a little like phone mount for my phone. Don't have any sort of like screens here, nothing like that. Just a big old white MILF-mobile that I so happen to drive. So yeah, we need as phone for the entertainment and such things. Anyways, good session, very good session. If we were going to rate it based on performance solely, things that are most noticeably improving at the minute, I would say, is like the hamstring and the RDL stuff, and then the push stuff was probably, I don't know, like everything else was sort of like just ticking along. Probably similar performance to last week, but the physique's progressing, we're moving, so it's not a concern. That's such a beautiful thing about building muscle as an enhanced athlete as opposed to natural, or even just like not necessarily enhanced, but even if you are just like a beginner, the feedback you get from your training that what you are doing is working or not is so much quicker. That's why if you are natural, and you'll see this a lot in the natural community, unless someone's genetically blessed, oftentimes it is lent into the performance side of training as being like the most important variable that's sort of paid attention to, which rightly so, it does correlate to muscle going up. But a lot of that as well, you know, part of that is because shit, if your logbook doesn't change in a month, you don't get any stronger in a month. Your body probably won't change, even if you did get stronger every single week as a natural. If you've been training for like 5-10 years, you probably won't see that you've gained substantial amount of muscle 1 month later. So it's fucking hard. That's why you've got to lean into that performance metric. It's kind of like you've got to lean into that whilst leaning into it with an open mind of like just being super patient basically, and going in the mindset of like, you know, today, like when that incline bench didn't go up, it went backwards. Okay, this is an anomaly, this isn't a pattern. Let's just repeat the same next week, no need to threat. And obviously it's way easier for me to say that now because I can visibly tell that I'm getting more muscular. So I'm like, well, my rep goes down one, who cares? Do you know what I mean? Because the lead measure that we're looking for, I can see that it's changing. So it's a much easier position to be in mentally, but yeah, you do get more feedback that your training's working, which it clearly is at the minute. So there we have that. That's an interesting topic of conversation. Right, I've got a missed call from the missus. I'm going to wrap this pappy up as family comes first. Thank you very much for watching again. Epic session. Love you all. Hope your family's good. Hope you're good. Hope your head's in a good spot. Hope you had a fucking sick week. And let's smash the fuck out the rest of this year. Speak soon.